In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the reissued vintage collection Mace Windu on the Attack of the Clones card. Hi there, Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And as I mentioned in the intro, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars the Vintage Collection Mace Windu on the Attack of the Clones card. This is a reissued figure from 2010. I think this one was released. If we just check VC35, so that may have been the beginning of 2011. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a reissue from the TVC 1.0. And let's just take a look at the card back there. Now, if you've seen my video where I revealed all of these figures in this wave, you will know that these finally do come with the thicker cardstock, and it is really noticeable. These are fantastic now. They are super sturdy, and it's a massive improvement. And you know, it's better late than never, but finally we have thicker cardstock. There he is on the card back. That's Samuel L. Jackson, obviously, Mace Windu, and he is in the Geonosis arena there. Pretty cool image of him there. Same image that they used, you know, it's exactly the same card back basically, but there is the figure. The figure's going to be slightly improved with photoreal deco and what have you. And I was really happy when they announced this one for being reissued, because I don't have this figure loose. And unfortunately, I haven't got the previous card back to show you either to compare them, because mine is in a box somewhere. I've run out of wall space, and some figures unfortunately had to make way for some newer stuff that I wanted to put on the walls, and Mace Windu is one of those. So he's in a box somewhere, but I always wanted the figure loose. I only have had one example of him, so we're going to open this one right now and we're going to take a look. But the back of the card there, as I say, is VC35. There's the other figures from the wave. I will be opening Obi-Wan Kenobi and doing a video on him 100%. Not too sure about the other two. And as we know, half the card taken up by all this, you know, rubbish, basically. Different languages and warnings and what have you. So there you go. Decent card back, Attack of the Clones logo, and there he is in the bubble. And right, let's open him up and check him out. Okay then, so here he is out of the packaging, and I have managed to put him into a double-handed lightsaber pose, which wasn't too tricky really. That's not too bad, I guess, for an older figure to be able to do that. And really, we're concerned about the head sculpt on this guy, and obviously the photo reel. And man, that does look like Samuel L. Jackson. It really does. Let's get rid of the lightsaber so you can get a better look at that. And that's really good. That is really good. Really stern looking face. I mean, look at that side profile there. That does really look like him. So I'm really happy with that. Once again, the eyes and the mouth paintwork and the eyebrows are all straight on my sample, which is good. The paintwork doesn't look too bad on his neck. Don't seem to have any overspill there. And there's the undergarment of the figure. We'll take the robe off very quickly so we can have a look at the figure underneath, because of course he does take that off in the film. And there he is, Mace Windu, looking pretty cool. Now obviously, being an older figure, it does have some issues. Now with a Jedi, I always think that the Jedi, and along with troopers, should always have, you know, as much articulation as possible to get them into all sorts of different poses. And unfortunately, being an older figure, Mace Windu unfortunately just has the swivel hips. So he doesn't have any ball hinges on his hips, which is a bit unfortunate. So you're not going to be able to get him into too many great poses. He does have ball hinged knees, which don't look too great, I've got to be said. You could really improve upon that. He has the ankle joints, which is one thing, and we have ball hinged elbows and ball hinged shoulders. Of course, being a Jedi, he has those, you know, really long cuffs, really big cuffs, and where they've done the break in the elbow, it doesn't look too great. But as I say, it's an older figure. Maybe you'll keep him with the cloak on and it'll look a bit better, but that, you know, with today's technology, if they were to do this figure now, I'm sure they could get around that and do those elbows better with those sleeves, you know. If you look at him there, he looks a bit ridiculous, doesn't he? But, you know, as I say, with the cloak on, he looks pretty decent. He does have soft goods around his waist, which, again, it seems a little bit weird that they've done that, because they don't really need to, you know, you're not going to be able to get his legs out or anything. Usually when they give the figure a soft goods like that, it's because they want to give it less restrictions and stuff like that, so you could pose him. But as he hasn't got the leg articulation, I don't think it really needs it that much. He can still do that. I guess if you were to have plastic all the way around, you probably wouldn't even be able to do that, so maybe that's why. You can see it does have a hole in the belt. That is because you do get an accessory of a lightsaber hilt here, so if you wanted to display him with the lightsaber hilt hanging down, you can. That looks great, although that one's a little bit bent. I'm sure you can sort that out. So that looks pretty good there. So all in all, displayed like that, I think he looks pretty good. And definitely with the cloak, he looks even better in my opinion. Now the cloak apparently has been made slightly more fitting. I think, you know, when these figures first came out, the cloaks were really too baggy. I think they've scaled the hood down a little bit. The hood is still big, but then again, Jedi hoods are pretty big. So let's put that back on and see what we can do with it. So there's the figure with the hood up, and as you can see, it is quite baggy. I mean, you could sort of maybe put it in place like that and maybe pin it down with something like a peg or something for a few days to try and get like a fold in there or something. But you know, if you're just going to leave it like that, it's going to look pretty awful. And to be honest, the only time where they've really sort of done the capes well is with the Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight figure from last year, I think it was, or late the year before that. Really good. The cape made that figure so good, and maybe they need to learn some lessons from that cape. The way this came packaged, it was more sort of folded down like that in the package, so it lays on his shoulders a little bit better, and that doesn't look too bad like that. And as I say, you saw at the beginning of the video, you can get the lightsaber into both hands, so you can get him into some kind of pose. I did notice, obviously, when I was playing around with the figure, that he does have a really good torso joint there, and you can see that you can see the top of the soft goods there where that sort of comes up, but lots of movement up there. But as I say, he really does miss the hip articulation. It's a bit of a shame, really, but you know, it is a reissue, a repack if you like. And there he is. Looks pretty good there, doesn't he? So there you go then, guys. That's the Mace Windu figure. As I say, I've never had this figure loose, so it's a good one for me to have. Many of you have probably already got this figure, but you know, let me know in the comment section below how good that photo reel is. You know, is it much better than the one that you have? And if it isn't, you know, are you even going to bother getting this figure? And if it is, are you going to be opening up the this one, the reissue one? So there you go then, guys. That is Mace Windu from Attack of the Clones, VC35, reissued in 2022. Thank you so much for my Patreon supporters and channel members. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you happen to enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like down below, because that really does help the video and the channel. And thank you to all my current subscribers as well. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that little subscribe button. So thank you all for watching, and we shall see you on the next one.